Two customers and an employee were injured at a Hickory Hills produce market when an alleged drunk driver plowed his SUV into the store. It happened this afternoon on West 95th Street. Police charged 66-year-old Mislaw Chopla with DUI. He was not injured in the crash, and none of the other injuries was life-threatening. Come January 1st, Illinois will have one of the toughest DUI laws in the nation. First-time DUI offenders will have to get a new device installed in the car that's both expensive and a real hassle. CBS 2's Vince Girasoli is here to explain. Vince?
Rob, this law applies to anyone arrested for DUI. Licenses are typically suspended at that point. At the start of the new year, just days away, if offenders need to drive during the suspension period, they'll have to do it in conjunction with a device that's similar to a breathalyzer connected to their car. The pictures are tragic and the numbers staggering. Last year in Illinois, 508 people died as a result of drunk driving. But the state now has a stronger tool to save lives.
I'm going to blow and hum into the unit.
Connected to a car's ignition, the interlock device won't allow a vehicle to start if a driver's blood alcohol level is higher than .024.
You get your DUI, the Secretary of State mandates that this goes on your car.
Some 3,000 Illinois drivers charged with DUI for a second or third time are already using the devices. Come Thursday, they'll be mandated for those stopped for the very first time, and that could be as many as 40,000 offenders each year.
As we're driving down the road, it's going to ask me for another test, anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes.
And you have no idea?
I have no idea. It's totally random.
Jim Bingham installs the devices for about $75 a month.
And if you tried to disconnect it right now, what would happen?
If you disconnect the unit, it's going to kill the car.
The state of New Mexico saw a 12% drop in alcohol-related traffic fatalities after enacting similar legislation. And Illinois is beginning a media blitz warning of the new stricter law. But defense attorneys say the device puts an unfair financial burden on first-time offenders.
They have to make the choice of, do I drive and risk getting a felony now, or do I end up paying for this and not paying for something else?
The devices aren't foolproof. A sober passenger could blow into the interlock, allowing the car to start, which critics warn is risky behavior.
Because what's going to happen is he's drunk and you're sober, and he's going to wind up wrecking his car, and he's probably going to kill you.
There are other ways to get around the device. A child, for example, could blow into it. Some people have actually tried to do that. But the motorist faces child endangerment charges if caught. Data is also recorded from the interlock each day and then sent monthly to the Secretary of State's office. You know, we were watching there before, and we were talking off camera. You were saying you have to actually use it while you're driving as well.
Is that such a good idea to be blowing into it while you're driving, that 5 to 20 minutes later, that random?
Well, it's kind of like, you know, taking a sip of Coca-Cola or something while you're driving. But the thing is your horn starts going off, and you become a sort of a traffic distraction, and it won't go off until you pull over to the side of the road.
And something else occurred. If you have somebody who's sober in the car who's an adult, maybe they should just be driving as opposed to...
That would make a lot of sense.
What
and I think
an
that's
idea.
what they're trying to do with this.
Yeah, okay, Vince, thanks a lot.